Okay. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just trying to get it, and
Oh, you
they
want me you want me
are.
you want me to read it?
No, I
Okay.
mean, yeah, you can read it. I mean, I'm here. You can read it.
Okay.
What in the
Uh,
heck?
let me get back over here. Mm, yeah, because I got two things up right now, and I'm doing good right now. The connection good. It's looking good. Uh, I'm not over there by the little tablet. I mean the laptop I use. But anyway, I got it right here. Just let me pull the Quran up. I got all the verses to say, the surahs to say what I'm saying, and we can go there. And I'm going to ask you these things, and I want to see what you say.
Okay,
Yeah, but
I'm gonna listen.
other than that, man, um, I just had a nice long conversation on there, man. I understand what you mean when they talking about sometimes they say you have risky content, right? I don't understand. I don't know what it be risky. I'm serious. I didn't, try to change the tone of the conversation. Everything be going cool. There's no one complaining, and then the same thing happens. It just clicks off. Hello.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
listening to you.
okay.
So, what you saying? You was on somebody's panel, and y'all got a risky content warning?
No, that no, no, yeah. I got that twice on mines. Just this last week or so, this last couple weeks, man, it happened twice. So here it go right here. So let me. Okay, we're going
Yeah,
into
this,
six.
be careful how you talk. The thing is, people on there, they're not like me and you, Israel. These people, they've been on here forever and they all are very hateful. And you can just say one thing and then they start reporting you because it's
Yeah.
somebody that's doing it. So
Mhm.
you just gotta be careful. I don't know who it is that's doing it to me, but they've been doing it for a few months now, and this time it was the longest. But I didn't even care because I was like, you know what? Maybe this is how it's supposed to be, so I can focus on my prayers and my meditation. And I've had such a wonderful Ramadan. It's been wonderful. I had one little moment where I, had words with this young lady, but other than that, I've done very well with my praying and my fasting and just staying focused.
Okay. Okay.
I don't
So
even eat right after I break my fast. I'll have the water and eat the dates, but sometimes I still won't eat until maybe an hour or two after I broke my fast
that's real
because
good
it's
that you
it's all
discipline
about
yourself.
strengthening yourself.
That's good. That's good. I
And a lot of
understand that.
people don't
So
understand. Like I've been fasting for so long, so it really didn't take much out of me. I mean, I felt very energized.
okay.
I was
Okay.
telling the
So
people when I came to work, they was like,
okay.
"Girl, where's all this energy coming from?"
So
They
look.
was like, "You're fasting." I said, "Yeah, but this
Okay.
is for the Lord."
Oh
So
no,
you
but
know.
look, but listen, Empress. Not to downplay that. You've been doing that, and you keep doing your thing. What you gonna do? You do what you do. So, but fasting is coming is a primary thing. That's a very serious thing dealing with the Lord, because that's when a lot like your spirit is energized, right? A lot of knowledge and wisdom come to you, right? And you grow in spirit, man. You discipline yourself. You just had a light of the Lord shining on you, man. And you just be moving. So I
Well,
understand that. But just
well,
stay
and it
with me.
also it
But
helps
just
you to focus on what's important.
okay.
Like I said,
Here we
I
go.
had some words with this young
Here we go.
lady, and I told her I was sorry because even though she was wrong, how she came at me, I was wrong to react to how she came at me, and
That's good.
so I've learned. A lot over these 29 with 24, 25 days on how to control reacting to different levels of ignorance that people throw at you,
Okay. That
to just really remember that,
okay.
God is watching us at all times.
Right. Right. So just
People
look,
out here living like that they can do whatever
hey,
and, oh,
Empress,
he's just gonna forgive you. But you
Empress,
should show him,
Empress.
yes.
If they don't, when you witnessing the people, you know what I'm saying. If they don't adhere to the message, it either ain't for them. You sow the seed, someone else come and water it, but we're gonna keep moving. Those of us gonna keep
No,
growing,
no,
moving. So
I'm
I'm saying I
saying
don't get
like
stagnant.
people that I'm not talking about on that level. No, she came at me personally and
Yeah,
I kind of like literally cussed her out.
I
But
know, but
again, like I said, I apologize because I don't want that to be how I represent myself. Even if somebody is coming at me, attacking me on a personal level, like I still should not respond, whether
okay,
it's in my spiritual realm or my personal realm. I shouldn't let that level of ignorance make me speak out in a manner that will just only prove me to be as ignorant as the person
okay,
who is saying
and
the
that's
stupid stuff to me.
and that's good, and that's good. Keep that dignity level and standard for yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a good thing, and I appreciate you sharing that with me. But now let's get to this. Let's get to this right here,
I
and
mean, you can
hopefully
read it because
I'm finna
I
read it.
already read it. I'm
I'm
trying
finna
to
I'm finna
understand what points you're
okay.
making out of this
I'm
one
finna
here.
get to it. I'm finna get to it. Does the Quran follow the biblical narrative where it says on the mouth of two or three witnesses, every word will be established? Meaning, it's going to say it more than one time, so so we can rest assured that that's what it's saying, and that's why I'm doing it. So this is Surah 6, Ayah 14, and it says Ayah 114, and it says, so should I seek someone other than Allah as judge, while it is he who has sent down to you the book in detail? Some translation will say that's a full explanation, right? That's Surah 6, 114. Now I'm gonna go to Surah 7 and 52. I'm gonna go to Surah 7, 52. Watch this.
Okay, wait. How
What?
you gonna go to Surah 752 and you read that, but then we didn't like.
No. Because listen, I just told you on the mouth of two or three witnesses. Let me give you the two or three witnesses, and then let's respond. I don't want to just say one thing. I'm gonna go to another surah which says the same thing, and I'm gonna go to one more. It's gonna be three, and then I want you to tell me, is that what it's saying or not? That's just rock with me. I'm not
Okay.
here to trick. No, just watch me. Just watch me, man.
No, I feel like this.
No,
Okay, go
because
on.
Empress, when I do this, this is what y'all do. Y'all get offended or think it's something like that, but I don't never get a chance
No,
to
no,
really
I'm not.
talk.
I'm not offended. I'm not offended.
Okay,
I'm trying to
so watch this.
understand how
I'm,
you.
okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Just watch this. So and then you're gonna be like, dang, I mean, you're gonna say whatever you're gonna say, but in truth, you can't deny this. Watch this. This is Surah
Oh,
7. This is Surah
okay.
7. Watch this. Surah 7 and 52. It says, surely we have brought them a book. Surely we have brought them a book that we have elaborated with knowledge as guidance and mercy for a people who believe. That's Surah 7 and 52. Okay, let me go to this one. 7 4 or 373. 37. Let me see. 7. That was 7 and 52. Okay, watch this. Okay, watch this right here. This is Surah 3 7. I don't know why I said 7 3 and or therefore I had the 471 mixed up. But anyway, this is Surah 3 7. And it says, he is the one who has revealed to you the book, the Quran. Out of it are verses that are mukamat, well, which means out of it are verses that establish the meaning. They are the principles of the book, or some translations will say that they are with us in the mother of the book. Right? I'm gonna read that over again. This is Surah 3 7. It says, he is the one who has revealed to you the book, the Quran. Out of it are verses that are mukamat. I don't know if I'm saying that right. They established meaning. That's a comma right there, which are the principal verses of the book. and some others are mushamat, whose definite meaning are unknown. That's what it says. So some verses are clear, and some verses there's some verses only Allah knows, right? It says some verses that are clear, and they are the principles or with us. They are in the mother of the book. They are the foundation of the book. But then there are some verses that only Allah knows, right? And I'm finna finish reading it. Uh, and some verses are or whose definite meaning are unknown. It says, "Now those who have perversely in their hearts to go after such part as in the unclear verses, they seek to discord and searching for its interpretation, while no one knows its interpretation except Allah. And those well grounded in knowledge say, we believe therein, all is from our Lord, only the man of understanding observe advice." I want you to read that to me. You read it to me out of your book. Out of your book, read 3:7. You can read each one of them I just read, and tell me: are we saying? Am I saying? Is that what it's saying or not? That it's a clear
Well, what is
explanation.
it? What I need to ask you is, what is it that you believe it's saying? What
It's
is it that
it's
you
saying.
are
Listen,
getting out of this
this
that
is
you
what
believe you need to
this,
point out?
this is what it's saying. That you said the Quran is the final book. That means it is the clear book of all. It says it's a clear book. It's a clear explanation of all things. That's what it says. That's what it says right here. It's a clear explanation of all things. I read to you 6:114 and 7:52. Now I'm reading to you 3:7, and where it says, but right here it says that there are some verses that are clear. They're clear. Some verses are clear. That was 3:7. You can read it to me yourself. And then some verses are allegorical, or which, and when that in brackets it says that those verses only Allah knows. They don't say it. Don't say there's the vernacular right there is no one knows the interpretation except Allah, right? And then there's a comma there, and it says, and those well grounded in knowledge, this is what they say: we believe in all of it, and that's so. I want you to know that's what it says. So now I want you to explain to me what I want you to read. This is what I want. This is what I wanted to read to you about the apocryphal scriptures, and I want you to explain it. You said it doesn't have the apocryphal scriptures in there, but I wanted to show you that, set that for you first, and then I'm gonna read the scripture, and you tell me where it comes from. The surah. I'm gonna read the surah, and you tell me where it comes from. Because now let's say this: if Allah told Muhammad these things outside of the things that's in the Bible, like some things about Moses, David, or Jesus, and things like that. Outside of those things, there shouldn't be there should no other book should have these surahs in it except the Quran. The Quran should be if the Bible don't have them, only the Quran should have them. No other. There should be no other surahs in here that come from other gospels, right? Because the apocryphal gospels is over 300 or 400 of them that was in circulation from the year 300 all the way to the year 800 or 900. These people revered these books as gospels too. But the Jews, according in the Quranic narrative and the biblical narratives, the Jews did not accept those. Christians and Jews did not accept, like the book of Barnabas, the gospel of Belises, the gospel of Thomas, the gospel. They did not accept those books, and that's what I mean about the apocryphal gospels. So I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to ask you this, sir, right here, and then I want you to respond. With that being said, that ain't too much for you. I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to read this, sir, to you, and and then you follow me. We're going to chapter 3, verse 44. And then I want you to respond to me. And then I'm going to show you where this is already written. I'm going to show you 5 or 6 of them in the Quran, and you tell me where they come from. You give me the knowledge of those things. And then that'll be my point. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, the Surah 3, verse 44. And this is what it says. This is an account of the things about Mary's childhood. Now I'm gonna stop right there because there's brackets. That's in brackets right there, and it says beyond your knowledge that we, Allah, revealed to you, Muhammad, you were not present. That's what it says, right? Okay. Verse 344 says this is an account about Mary's life, Mary's childhood beyond your knowledge that we, Allah, revealed to you, Muhammad, you were not present. So where can you go? Because in the book of Luke, it is the only part in the Bible. That's the only. But the first chapter of Luke speaks about Mary. Right, speaks about Mary, and Matthew speaks about Mary, but neither one of them will tell you about her childhood. This is about this sir said this is account about the things about Mary's childhood. This is about her life. So none of those gospels will tell you about her life. But I'm gonna show you where this where it comes from. Watch this. That's 344. Now and unless you can, and I'm almost done. Then I want you to explain to me about her life. Show me where you tell me where can I go and read about the childhood of Mary? Where can I go and how can I know that? How can the Quran explain to me about the childhood of her life? So it's a clear explanation. Show me how the Quran can tell me about her life. Show me where it explains about her life.
You want me to speak now, or you have something else you want me to listen to?
No. This is this says about the childhood of Mary. So I want you to go and give me the childhood of Mary. And when you read it, because after 344, you have 337, right? But this is the
Go on
apocrypha.
and read 337. Go on and read that too.
Okay, I'm going to read 337. 337 says, her Lord graciously accepted her and made her grow in goodness and entrusted her to the care of Zechariah.
Hmm.
Whenever Zechariah went to see her in her sanctuary, he found her supplied with provisions. He said, Mary, how is it that you have found these provisions? She said, they are from God. God provides
Hmm.
limitlessly for whomever he wills. That's Surah
Right.
3, 7, then 37. Now watch this. Watch this. And I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna summarize this for you. The passage says that Mary was put under the care of Zechariah, an old man. In this passage, it says she was put under the care of Zechariah, older man. Mary is found in the sanctuary. She receives provisions miraculously. Where did this information come from? And I'm building with you here, so I'm going to explain this. Now I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this to you. The Apocrypha Gospel. It says this. This is how it reads in the Apocrypha Gospel. It says she, Anna, Mary's mother, made a sanctuary in her bedchamber. This apocryphal gospel, 5 and 1, and now here's apocrypha. All of it goes together. Here's 8 and 1. It says, and Mary was in the temple, nurtured like a dove, received food from the hand of an angel. This New Testament apocrypha, page 429. It says, in these two accounts. Now I'm almost done with it. It says, it says, in these two accounts, some of the details are variations, but the general agreement of the two accounts is remarkable. First, the setting in the holy place match up in the Quran. Mary lives in the sanctuary. The pseudo gospel says she lives first in the sanctuary, then at home. Then she moved to a large sanctuary, the temple. The second, the miraculous provisions match up. The Quran says that Mary received miraculous provisions from Allah. The pseudo gospel says an angel gave them to her. Third, as we shall see in the next comparison, the old age and the calling of the two men match up. The Quran says that Zacharias was an old man, was given charge over her, while the pseudo gospel says that Zacharias, at least for a short moment, was given over to her, but Joseph, an old man and future husband, was given permanent guardianship over her. Now I'm going to send you this. I'm going to send you this right now. what I'm just saying to you, and I want you to take this last comparison, and then tell me what you think. And I'm gonna sit here and listen to you respond to what I just read to you, and we can go back over it so that you don't so that we don't get it twisted. All right. So this the last point. This is the last point right here. It's the last point right here. Now watch this. Here's about how do you find out that Jesus in Surah 19 verses 29 to 31 and then Surah 3:46. So actually, since you're in Surah 3 right now, go to 3:46 and I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read to you. While you in 3:46, I'm gonna read Surah 19 verses 29 to 31. I'm gonna read Surah 19.
You can read Surah 346. You can
Okay, I'm
read
gonna
it.
read. Okay, I'm going to read 340. I'm going to read Surah 346. Okay. Okay, 346. The Quran says, He, Jesus, will speak to people alike in the cradle. It's 346 says that He will speak in the cradle. Am I right?
Yep.
That's what it says. Now watch this. Here's 19. Here's 19. I'm going to read from 29 to 31. Here's 19. It says this. The people said, How shall we talk with him who was but an infant in the cradle? Whereupon the child spoke out, I am a servant of Allah. Watch this right here. Watch this. I am a servant of Allah. He has given me the book, and he has appointed me a prophet, and he has made me blessed wherever I may be. He has enjoined upon me to offer salat and give zakat, so long as I shall live. Am I right?
Yeah. What I'm trying to understand.
Well,
What is the
okay.
question?
Remember, I just read about him speaking in the cradle, and then they just said right here, "How shall we talk to him who is but an infant in the cradle?" There's two witnesses once again. Now watch this. Now watch this. The last part, and that's what I'm gonna want you to respond. Watch this. So, okay. Should we listen to Muhammad? Okay, here we go. Right here.
I'm trying to understand where you're going
I'm
with
listen.
this. But
Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm almost done. I know you're trying to. I'm trying to. I know you're trying to done. And this is the part. This is it. I'm almost done. The Quran says that he will speak in the cradle, right? Watch this right here. Verse. Okay, here we go right here. The Apocryphal Gospel, 2 and 1. Jesus made soft clay and modeled 12 sparrows from it. As Jesus clapped his hands, he cried out to the sparrows, "Be gone," and the sparrows flew chirping. Okay, now the number of birds, this all go along with what I just read to you. Um, but right there where it says that I am Jesus, he says I am Jesus right here. Was that Apocrypha Gospels? What verse was that? 1921. My bad. It says 1929. He says I am a servant of Allah. In the Arabic Infancy Gospels, Surah 19 verse 30. I read to you Surah 19 started from 29 and went to 31. But I want you to know something right here. Watch this. The Apocrypha Gospel says this. Watch this. It says, we found it recorded in the book of Josephus, the chief priest, who was in the time of Christ, and some say that he was Caiaphas. This is in brackets. Watch this. This man said that Jesus spake when he was in the cradle and said to Mary, this is where you get that serve from. This is in the Apocryphal Gospels and I'm the Arabic Infancy Gospels. Remember, I told you all of these books were Gospels, and I'm gonna send this to you, and you can
oh
research it and
my
see how long
goodness.
it was written before Muhammad, the Quran comes, and before Muhammad lived. What Raqqa knew about these books, Baharia did, Khadijah did, his daddy and them did. All these things were around. There was in circulation. This is what people walked with. But I'm going to read that. The Apocrypha Gospel says we have found it recorded in the book of Josephus, the chief priest who was in the time of Christ, who say that he was Caiaphas. That this man said Jesus spake when he was in the cradle. He said to Mary, "Verily, I am Jesus, not a servant of God. That ain't what this says. This says, "Verily I am Jesus, the Son of God, the word which thou hast borne, according to the angel Gabriel, gave thee the good news, and my Father has sent me for the salvation of the world." And you can scroll down and read about the childhood of Jesus. In Surah 1930, it says that I am Jesus, the Son of God. In the Arabic infancy Gospels, it says I am Jesus.
Wait. You're saying in the Quran it
It says
says that he's the son of God?
in the Quran, it says, I am the servant. I am Jesus, the servant of God. That's the only word that's changed. The rest of the words are the same thing. In the Apocryphal
Because he
Gospels,
wouldn't be saying he's the son of God.
yeah, but listen, in the Apocrypha Gospels, which was 300 years before this, when you read about him in the cradle, this is where you're reading about it from. You're reading it about it. This book was 200 years before Muhammad, 300 years before Muhammad lived. This book was part of the Torah, the Injil. Some people accept the book of Enoch, like things like that. They accept all these other books, and these people were saying the people, and there's so many more. This ain't even close to what I'm telling you. Listen, when Mary, when you read about this also in the Apocrypha Gospels, you're going to read about Mary when she was having a baby. She said, God, I wish she was hurting her real bad. In the Quran, she said, man, I wish I was damn near dead because it was hurting her so bad. And then that it said, then that she says she
Wait,
grabbed her.
what? Back up. You said she said what?
Okay, let me just read it to you. Now. First of all, I just showed you that, and the only thing you see how the words are very similar. And when I give this to you, information to you, this is what you rest on. I want you to challenge this information nonstop. You're going to see it's second and third, 10th century antiquity, fourth century antiquity, and you can research it and fact check it. This was in circulation in the Arabian Peninsula from the third century all the way to the eighth and ninth century in Syria in the north, Yemen in the south, over there by the Bedouins. It was everywhere. The people in pre-Islamic, in Arabia, the polytheistic people knew about these books. This was a normal book. It was like. It's not like how we see books. These books were. This was what they think. You know what I'm saying? This is what they think. They read and told stories and things like that. And you can read about these. But let me go down here and read to you about Mary. Uh, Watch this. Jesus made clay bird. When he made the clay bird, you can read about that in the Quran. That's what's in the Gospels. That's in the Arabic infancy Gospels. Let me get down to this last part about Mary, where I told you she was uh, uh hugging the tree. Mm, okay.
No, you said something about her saying that it was a painful something or whatever.
Yes, it was so painful. She wished she said she
It
wished she
says
would.
that in the Quran. You're saying it says that
Yes.
in the Quran.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. You can read it in the Quran where it says it was painful, so painful. She was saying how painful it was to her. She damn near wished she was dead. And I'm gonna show you
Mm,
where
mm,
that where,
mm.
where it says that in the Apocryphal Gospels, where she bent the palm tree down, and it yields dates to her. But in the
Well,
and
pull it up in the Quran so I could
okay,
see what you're talking about.
okay.
That.
That is that. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy, but watch this. Okay,
No, I just think you're miswording it.
okay. Watch in the Quran. Okay, Mary, Mary. Okay, Surah Miriam. We're gonna go to that Surah 30. Let me make sure this is 30, 33, 23. This is 23. Oh, yeah. Here it goes. See, look. Surah 19. Is that 19? Oh, it's Miriam. I don't know why I didn't do that. Surah 19. Whenever we talk about Mary, I don't know why I'm doing this. Whenever we talk about Mary, we're supposed to go to Surah 19. That's it. That's Surah Surah Imram. Imram.
She's the
the surah.
only woman that is in the Quran.
I know, and she's
She's
the only
the
woman.
only woman
The
that
only listen.
has a surah in the Quran.
Okay, but look, and she that those things mainly come from the Gospels. So her being targeted in the Gospels is like her being targeted in the Quran, the same way. But I'm
No,
just okay.
no,
You
it's not. It's not.
okay? Well, listen, she's the one who carried the Messiah. I'm just being
Go
general. You
on,
act like I'm
go on and read what you want to read.
okay. Okay, watch this. Surah 19:23. I don't see why you being man. They not being. You're supposed to be subtle with this, and you're supposed to correct me and all this stuff. You're not supposed to be like that, be objective like that. And I'm making sense to here to you. Watch this. It's Surah 19:23. Are you there?
I'm listening.
It says, then the labor pains brought her to the trunk of the palm tree, and she said, "Oh, that I wish I have died before this." That's what she said. You act like I said it wrong, and would have something gone forgotten. Let's keep reading. Watch this. Then he called her out from beneath. Then he called out from beneath her. Now look at this narrative right here. And now we're gonna stay. I'm glad we're just gonna stay in the Quran, but I'm telling you where she when in the Arabic infancy gospels, when she said that, Jesus, as he spoke as an infant, says he told like the dates, yield this dates to give her, nourish her with the dates. And it bends down, then beneath her is streams of water and things like that. And I'm going to read to you. I'm going to say it says, then he, verse 24, it says, then he called her from beneath. Do not grieve. Your Lord has placed streams beneath you. Here it go right here. But look, but watch this. At what point, the Bible and the Quran, right? At what point does he speak from beneath? I don't see God, or I don't know who this is. I don't know who is this calling out, but I guess if we keep reading, we would find out. But he's speaking beneath her from he called her from beneath, not above, beneath. Do not grieve. The Lord has placed a stream beneath you. Let's go to 25. Shake the trunk of the palm tree towards you, and it will drop down you fresh ripe dates. Watch this. Let's keep reading. Verse 26. So eat and drink and cool your eyes. Then if you see any human being say to him, I have vowed a fast, silence for our merciful Allah, and therefore to I shall never speak to any human today. All right, let's see what else it says. She came to her people
That
carrying
tells
him.
you who was talking, right? That tells you who came from beneath speaking, right?
Okay, yes. Now I see that, but Allah don't speak. There's nowhere else. Allah is God. God haven't spoke beneath nobody. Is one of my point. That's one of my points. He don't speak beneath.
Okay.
I'm just saying. That's why I'm saying it. He don't speak beneath. He speak. But I never read that. But anyway, verse 27 says she came to her people carrying him. They said, "Oh Mary, have you committed something grave indeed?" Watch this. "O sister of Harun, O sister of Harun, neither your father was a man of evil, nor was your mother unchaste." So she pointed towards him, the baby. They said, how should we speak to someone who isn't old? Now, see, now we're reading the Apocrypha Gospels. You see what I'm saying? All of this, what you're reading, you're going to read it verbatim. Exactly these things, what I'm telling you, in the Apocrypha Gospels. And that's why I'm telling you this point. The word changed from I'm the servant of God, all the rest of the words the same, to I'm the son of from the son of God in the apocryphal gospels and the biblical gospels, to the servant of God in the apocryphal gospels, and to the servant of God of Allah in the Quran. That's the transmission. It went from son of God because the four gospels was written before the apocryphal gospels, and the apocryphal gospels was written before the Quran. Is what I'm saying. So the transmission went from him saying he the son of God in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and then 200 years later, the apocryphal gospels say, "I'm the servant of, I'm the son of God." In the apocryphal gospels, and then, but 200 or 300 years later, then the Quran says, "No, I'm the servant of God." He's the servant of Allah, and all the rest of the words is the same. And it's like this in every comparison I just showed you. I just showed you every comparison, and that's what I'm trying to say. And it's way more than this. And you say, no, if Allah revealed these things to Muhammad, how can someone else? or some other literature that was not even no scarce literature. It's not like no little in the closet literature. This is mainstream literature in the in Medina and Mecca, pre 7th century. This is mainstream literature. It's not like see when and listen. One other thing, when y'all say gospels, right? When we say gospels, a lot of people keep it into the first four books of the New Testament: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. No, no, no. From the first century all the way to past Muhammad's life and death, all the way to the 9th century, gospels were considered the gospel of Mary, the gospel of Barnabas, God of Luke, and but when they changed, the council did not put those books in there, but the books were still floating around, and a lot of people. That's where you get the different sects of belief. Some people praise Mary because of that gospel of Mary. Then they just like the Catholics use that gospel of Mary, the book about Mary's life. You're gonna read that in the Apocrypha Gospels. That's where you can go and read about her childhood, like from all the way from not even from, I mean, shit, damn near from puberty. You're gonna read about her life from puberty all the way up until this narrative in the Apocrypha Gospels. You're gonna go read about her whole life, and you're gonna then you will read the Sirs and be like, and that's what I was trying to allude to. But you got to build up to this. I don't want to just do it like that. I'm trying to, when I say who was the first person Muhammad came to, I'm trying to build a premise to set the stage for his life, because the Quran starts off at 40 years of 40 years of age. That's what it starts off to. So I go back to the childhood, and that's what I'm trying to mention. But Waraka, who was the first person, and build up his life, and then I'm asking, I mean, Muhammad was married to Khadijah when he was 25. I think he was 25 years old. But you don't read about none of that in the Quran. You just read about when he was praying in the cave, and then the angel came to him, and he was whatever how it ever transpired. He kept shaking him and telling him to read. And Muhammad was fearful. He was like this was perplexed. This messed him up. I'm scared to read the way it's reading. And he went home and told Khadijah. But that's at 40 years of age. But he married her. He had been married to her. You see what I'm saying? He had been believing in Allah, but you in the Quran don't start off. The Quran start off at 20. I mean at 40. But Muhammad been married to her. So that's why I build up to the things how he lived and where he was when he first tried to go to his people. These are his family members, and tell him stop worshiping all those other gods. These ain't like though. He started off with his family, telling them, hey man, y'all got to stop doing this. Stop worshiping all these other gods. Just worship Allah. Stop, leave all the other gods. And they weren't trying to hear that shit, because I don't know if you know, but the Quraysh tribes damn near controlled the whole part of Mecca. Mecca was a prime spot to come to trade and make money and sell shit. It's just like a hub. It was like a hub, and also all the polytheists in the region was happy because they could all come there and worship their gods. You know what I'm saying? Everyone could worship their own God in peace, make money, and really kick it. And Muhammad, and that's one of the reasons why they charged him up out of there, because he was trying to take they first of all, you're trying to tell us how to worship. Then secondly, you're trying to tell us to not make our money. You about to mess up everything. They had to get him up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And then look, this other part I want to say to you. I know I'm talking a lot, Empress, but look, this other part I want to say to you. Do you know? I know I can. I'm going to separate. We can read the Quran, and you can see the serious, more aggressive verses that Muhammad in the Quran. Those serious, more aggressive surahs in the Quran. They come at a time when he came back to Mecca. Those no, when he was lenient, when he was lenient, right? He was lenient then, but when he went to Medina, right? He went to Medina and gathered up, his followers, for conversion. Some people start believing in him and stuff like that, and then he came back. That's when you can read those aggressive verses, or when he was, when he was about to fight them, when he came back to liberate, however he had to do to take Mecca. Those verses come when his attitude, the situation, the whole circumstances has changed. Because now he coming back, he finna come back, he building it up, and things like that. Those the aggressive verses are when coming from Medina back to Mecca to take the. to take Mecca, and all of those things, all of these setups, these things, when you look at it, you generalize and isolate the things, and you set the narrative, you can set the stage, you can kind of recite the screen. I mean, the scene. You can reset the scene and be like, damn. If you use this information, because that's all the information we have, the oldest information of Muhammad. You said some Hindu books or something, but 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 the oldest information on Muhammad's life, and I want you to correct me if I'm wrong, or read me in the right direction. There is no older narrative about the life of Muhammad than the story of Bahariya. And I want you to correct me. I don't care, you get AJ or anybody, and just go slow. Now I know I'm saying a lot, but I'm asking you,
I'm
we're gonna
sorry.
the
You said
starting
what?
point,
You
the start
said
the
what?
start
I'm sorry.
the starting point. I'm telling you this verbatim. There is no older accepted narrative, right? There's no older accepted, more accepted narrative. Let me say it correctly. There is no older, more accepted narrative about Muhammad's life over the information about Baharia, the monk who Muhammad came in contact with between the age 9 and 12. There's no older accepted information than that starting point. So with that starting point, then you
What do
go.
you mean there's no older accepted information? I mean, you didn't put a lot out there and you haven't given me an opportunity to answer any of it. But where are you going with this now? There's no older information outside
What?
of what that monk said. Where did
Okay,
he
well,
get
listen,
the information from? He
listen
got
to
it
me.
from scriptures.
No, no,
He got it
listen.
from scriptures.
I know, but listen,
He
listen.
said it. He
That's what
said
I
the
told you.
scriptures had
I, to,
prophesied
I know,
about
but
the next prophet to come.
listen to me. Those scriptures come from the scriptures he's talking about are apocrypha gospels. There's not no biblical.
Listen, okay. Listen, okay, you
Oh my
gotta let
God,
me answer, or
man,
you gotta let
Empress,
me answer.
go ahead and answer. Go ahead
Okay,
and
you
answer.
don't, so you
Answer.
don't want me to
Answer.
answer
Yes, I
anything.
do. Answer.
Okay,
I'm listening.
no,
Answer.
it's okay, it's
No,
okay,
answer.
it's
Answer.
okay.
Answer what I just showed you. And then now you got to say to yourself, now look, it's just like if you go to the Torah in our Bible where y'all say it's corrupt, go to something else and show me that it don't say that. You see what I'm trying to say? Go to something else. Go to something else and show me where it said it before that. You understand? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm being balanced here with you. I'm making a claim here about the Quran, and I'm stating the claim. I'm giving you. I'm pointing you in a direction. When you make the claim about the Bible, you have to do the same thing. You just can't. You just can't. It's just like, okay, listen. It's like this. It's like this right here. And this is in the Quran right here. And you want me to get that? I'll pull it up. In the Quran, it says this. Allah says, those who believe in one part of the scripture and don't believe in the other part will receive a serious punishment. So when y'all say this is what Allah said, and Allah is the one who revealed the Torah, the Zabura, and the Injil. That's what the Quran says. And outside of that, show me. You have to show me. You have to show me now. Show me where the narrative that's written in the Torah is wrong with another source of information. Show me that what's wrong in the Zabura, in Isaiah, and in the Gospels. You have to go and show me another source information, because the Quran says the same thing that the Bible does about Jesus and Mary and Moses. It says all these same things, except it says that Pharaoh, when it's talking about Pharaoh in there, it says that Pharaoh was saved and repented. It says Pharaoh had repented when he was drowning, and Allah. And they saved his body. They saved him, right? That's what it says in the Quran. Don't say that in the Bible, but things like that, right? But for the most part, what the Quran says about the Torah is right there in the Torah. Do you know in the Quran says we told the children of Israel, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a limb for a limb. These are the things where you can state that in the Torah, where it says Moses done this, Abraham done that, Sarah done that. The Quran is saying exactly what we have in the Bible. It's not saying nothing different. And when it's saying something different, I just showed you where it's coming from, the different things that it's saying. I just showed you that, and I'm going to send you the information. So I want you to do the same thing. You can be objective, but be subjective too. I mean, point me in the right direction, and pull me up a document and says, Israel, 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 this is why you're wrong, because you said this is what the Bible says, but this book before that, before the Bible says this. Like I'm telling you, this is what the Quran says, but this book before the Quran says it like this. You see what I'm saying? Like that. So that's what I'm doing here, and I want you to do the same thing. If you can, and if you can't, now if you can't, then the Quran says that the Torah, the Quran says that the Bible is from Allah. Like the Torah, the Injil is from Allah. So then it's making a claim, and if you can't correct me or correct what the Bible says with source information, then but you make the claim that it's corrupt, but Allah sent it. So either it's Allah is sent the corrupt book, or or then the Bible is right and the Quran is wrong. One of the two. It has to be one of the two. You can't have the Quran without the Bible. But the Bible the Bible is separate from the Quran. But you can't have the Quran without the Bible.